Hey, what's up guys? Dan from Masculine Evolution here. I want to talk about how I came off social media. It's a very powerful and really a very simple technique that everyone can apply to see instant results. So do hang around. Like, I was really hooked on social media. I mean, I could spend like 3 or 4 hours in the evening after dinner just swapping between all the different social media apps that I had on my phone, and then going into that kind of downward spiral of short videos where it was just one after the other after the other after the other, and I was aware of what was going on, but I just couldn't stop. I didn't realize that my body was in a state of freeze. So we got fight within the nervous system, right? Different stages of fear. You got fight or flight, and then there's the freeze states. And the freeze states actually linked to like ADHD and things like that, which I was diagnosed with a few years ago. But I would just get lost in this spiral of short video after short video, looking at different posts, and it fulfilled me to a degree. Like, it gave me something, but that something was I can't call it pleasure. I mean, what was that? It was like this sort of dark cloud shadow that was forming over me, and I was going deeper and deeper into the hole, but I couldn't seem to come out. Like, I wanted more of it. Like, it was almost like this self-sabotaging devil in me that just wanted to like see how fucked up I could get, almost. I mean, it sounds bizarre, but that spiral, like, we all know that social media is bad for us when we're overdoing it, right? When we're over scrolling, we all know that the constant spike of dopamine is bad for us. It's not how we were designed. We were designed to have our dopamine spiked as a reward. So when we do something, when we achieve something, we get a spike of dopamine. That's healthy dopamine. But when you're getting the spike of dopamine from every single video, every single post, whatever it is you're searching through or scrolling through, it's really bad for your nervous system. It like puts you into a state of stress. The constant spiking always has a crash, so you're just crashing down more and more and more. So it's like this downward spiral where you have a spike, and then you drop back down to lower than when you had that spike, and then another spike, and you're constantly trying to climb up, but with each spike you're just going down and down into this hole. I mean, it's really like heavy, and it's not pleasant at all. I knew I had to stop it, but I just couldn't at that time. So there's two different parts to this, both very simple, really, really, really simple. Now, for a lot of people, it's so simple that you won't see the power in the message, because maybe you're used to having some like 10-step process on how to fix an area of your life. But it doesn't need to be that complicated, because you have everything within you now to totally change your life around today. It's just that there's a part of you that's stopping yourself, and you're giving that part of you your power. The power that's stopping you from growing, the self-sabotage, has power over you. And your urges to spike your dopamine, your urges to get a quick hit of whatever it is you're going to get that hit, those urges are overpowering you right now, because you're giving them your power. So that need to scroll, whatever your vice is, you know, pornography, scrolling, drugs, whatever, like, that urge has the power over you until you decide that it's not going to anymore. And it's really that simple. So if you're fulfilling the urges right now, see these urges as your master, and you're like the slave. These urges are like telling you what to do. Go eat that, go do that, and you just go and do it because you're a good little boy and you're doing what you're told, right? You're like there's a slave to these urges that are your master. And that's no way to live your life. You don't want to be doing that your whole life. I mean, that's not going to help you out in any area, right? And I think we all know this. This isn't anything new, right? You've probably heard this from loads of other videos as well. But has it helped? Are you actually doing anything that's going to allow you to start coming out of these habits? So I realised this was like, I don't know, 9 months ago, I started meditating, and there was a really clear shift in me when I was doing the meditating, and that was that I started becoming the master and these urges became my slave. And it was a really fascinating thing, because the urge would come up to like go smoke weed or whatever I was going through at the time, or go scroll, and I was like, no, no, I'm not going to do that. And like that urge just got a little smaller by saying no to it. It was almost like this urge went from a master to a slave, and that was because I'm way more powerful than that little urge. It's just that I gave it my power, so it was overpowering me. So these are the 2 steps. First step, and this is really going to help, is you got to find something to work towards in life that's actually more beneficial than the shitty little hits of dopamine you get from the constant scrolling or whatever it is you're doing. Like, for me, it was creating this business. I always wanted to be like an online entrepreneur, running an online business, that kind of thing. But I was too afraid to do anything about it, right? And the habits were kind of like a resistance to doing that. But it got to a point where I was like, enough's enough. If I'm actually going to start doing what it is I really want to be doing in life, I'm going to have to start putting down these habits. I can't be scrolling and staring at screens all day and all night if I'm going to do what it is I want to do. And that's the important thing, right? So if you are scrolling all the time, you think how much time and energy is going into that. And think what you could create in your life if that energy was redirected onto something that you wanted to create. And that doesn't mean you have to start an online business. I mean, it could be something as small as just developing more confidence in social situations, having a more exciting sex life. It could be going on more dates. It could be feeling more grounded and just more connected to other people. I mean, there's just so many areas in life that you can work on, that you can work towards. Making more money. And when those urges come up, you've got something that you can remind yourself that if I go down that path of habits, it's going to take me away from the direction that I'm going. And you start to see that the habits are actually sabotaging you. It's kind of like the pleasure-pain principle, right? If you don't have a direction in life, then the scrolling is just going to be more pleasurable. But when you see that the scrolling is actually sabotaging your growth and the direction you can start heading towards, you start seeing it as painful. And we're built to follow pleasure over pain, right? We don't want to go into pain. We don't want to feel pain. So that's the first thing. And the second thing, which is probably the most powerful and also the most simple kind of technique to stop the social media scrolling, and that's just to stop. And I know that sounds crazy to some. Some people might even turn off at that message because it's like, I wanna hear like how you did it, or like what these sort of powerful techniques are to stop. You just fucking stop. It's that easy. Okay, it's not that easy, but it's that simple. No doubt you've got a bunch of apps on your phone that's taking your attention and energy. So just delete them. Just do it now. Like delete them all. Now, you will have a part of you come up that tells you not to do it. So if you have an inner desire to stop scrolling, to stop chasing dopamine, great, this video's for you. But just notice if now another part of you comes up, and this part is like, not now, don't do it now. I'm going to scroll for the rest of the week and then I'll do it on Sunday night ready for Monday, or that constant putting things off will continue to happen until you decide to do it now, like right now. So after this message, or even just turn this video off now and go do it now, can you just turn off all the apps on your phone, like completely delete them? Maybe you can have them on your laptop, and then you can go onto your laptop now and again. But at least, you know, if you're not carrying your laptop around with you, it's going to seriously reduce the amount of time that you spend on your phone, and especially when you're like staring into your phone. I mean, the tension, all sorts of shoulder and back problems I've got, I know from like staring into my phone. It's not good at all. Now, when you do that, there's going to be a level of discomfort because you've trained yourself to like seek solace and seek comfort in your phone. And so it's going to be potentially going to be quite stressful. There's going to be a lot of discomfort that arises up in you when you do that, when you do this. And in a way that's good, because we don't want to be running from pain all the time. We want to be able to face discomfort. And essentially all discomfort is your nervous system dysregulating. So you're using your phone to regulate your nervous system, because we don't get taught how to regulate. So our phones help us regulate. Actually, it's dysregulating us, but we think it's regulating us. So when it gets uncomfortable, are you able to just sit with the discomfort? You'll notice really it's only your mind that's telling you can't handle what the feelings come up, these feelings that come up when you stop your habits. But really, you can just go into your body and feel the discomfort. It kind of becomes a bit of fun, you know, a bit like a game. And it will help you up level. It will allow you to be more present. It will allow you to be more focused. And focus and presence is the natural byproduct of having a healthy, well-regulated nervous system. So the fact that ADHD, anxiety, depression, and all these other mental health conditions are so rife, you know, they're called mental health, so there's all these ways of dealing with them mentally. But the reason why there's so much activation in the mind is because the nervous system is dysregulated. We feel unsafe, and so we go up into the mind where we need to be here to look for threats, right? So we're in a state of survival. You can't, like, most of these, if not all of these mental health conditions wouldn't exist in a healthy, well-regulated nervous system. It's as simple as that. But we like to overcomplicate things. We like to, you know, create professions and degrees for people to try and help others to deal with mental health, including diagnosing and prescribing drugs that can have quite heavy side effects on us. When really what's needed, and I do believe that for some people drugs are needed for mental health conditions, but really what's needed for the majority of cases is for the person to be able to stop the habits, stop the lifestyle habits that are dysregulating them, learning how to regulate themselves through certain practices such as Qigong, Tai Chi, such as Yoga Nidra or NSDR, meditation, learning how to calm the nervous system down, and then just naturally becoming more focused, more present. There's a lot out there in this world that is designed to take your attention, and it's a war, really. There's a battle for your attention right now, and the more you give your attention away to other things, the more you give your attention to other habits and addictions, the more power it has over you. You can reclaim your power. It requires you to go in. So when the discomfort arises when you quit your habits, you want to go in and start feeling that discomfort, because it's your unwillingness to feel the discomfort that makes you go for the habits, right? Something comes up in you that makes you want to go and smoke a cigarette or scroll, right? So you're running from yourself by going to your habits. So put your habits down, stop running from yourself, and face whatever it is that's making you live this unhealthy lifestyle. And once you can do that, now you can start thinking about, what do I want to do instead? What do I want to create instead? Do I really want to create lack of focus, lack of motivation, lack of drive? Really? No. Hey, it's fucking with our memories as well. Almost everyone I know is saying how shot to pieces their memory is. It's all lifestyle. Yeah. Well, I meant to keep this one short, but there we go. Thanks for listening, guys. Do subscribe, put any comments in the comments section, and I'll see you in the next video.